All right, let's dive right into our final explainer for Module 1. If you were with us for the previous lesson on case studies and red flags, you'd know we spent our time learning how to spot common failure scenarios and warning signs. We got really good at identifying where things break down. But as business advisors and finance professionals, spotting the problem, well, that's really only half the job. Now we're shifting our focus to actively fixing them. Welcome to the Process Improvement Playbook. This is the closing chapter of our journey through the revenue and collection cycle.
Today, our agenda covers 4 key areas. Number 1, fixing the red flags. Number 2, high priority items for immediate impact. Number 3, medium priority items for system scale. And finally, number 4, module complete and what's next.
Starting off with Section 1, fixing the red flags.
When we're advising clients on strengthening their revenue cycle, it isn't just about pointing out the red flags and identifying the gaps. Anyone can point out a problem, right? The real value you provide is sequencing the fixes. It's about tailoring and prioritizing the right process improvements based on actual business impact. Keep in mind, not every single recommendation in our playbook is going to apply to every single client. Your job is to tailor these solutions based specifically on the gaps you identified in their unique process. Moving on to Section 2, high priority items for immediate impact. So where do they actually begin? If a client's resources are tight, and let's be honest, they almost always are, you have to start right here. These are the high priority recommendations designed to stop the bleeding, mitigate risk, and boost cash flow immediately. What's really interesting about these 4 specific high priority fixes is how directly they target immediate cash and severe credit risks. When you look at the impact areas, collections, cash flow, revenue leakage, and bad debt, you are literally looking at the lifeblood of the business. These aren't just nice-to-have administrative tweaks. No way. These are fundamental improvements that can absolutely save a struggling business. Let's break each of these down so you know exactly why you should be recommending them.
First up, enabling AutoPay and e-billing. By making the switch, you completely remove the friction of manual payments. Think about it from the customer's perspective for a second. If they have to write a physical check or manually log into a portal every single month, there will inevitably be delays. People forget. By automating that transaction, you are radically transforming the speed of collections and immediately improving the client's cash flow. It is for sure one of the fastest ways to get cash in the bank. Next, we look at automating the billing trigger directly from delivery confirmation. Waiting for human intervention between a delivery confirmation and an invoice introduces massive delays and errors. If an employee simply forgets to click Send Invoice after a product ships, the company just doesn't get paid for that work. It's that simple. Automating this trigger directly prevents that revenue leakage and accelerates billing speed. The precise moment the service is done or the product is delivered, the clock starts on getting paid.
Our third high priority item is implementing an accounts receivable aging dashboard. But the real secret sauce here is pairing it with a strict weekly review cadence. Look, just having a fancy dashboard isn't enough if nobody actually looks at it. Implementing this dashboard with a strict weekly review cadence provides the critical visibility a finance team needs to stay on top of outstanding collections. It ensures that overdue accounts are flagged and acted upon way before they turn into uncollectible bad debt. And this brings us to our final high priority fix, the credit approval workflow. The sequence here is absolutely critical. By enforcing a strict credit check before a sales order is even created, you cut off bad debt right at the source. If you let the sales team create orders for customers who haven't been properly vetted, you're basically just signing up to do free work. Putting the credit check at the very beginning of the flow protects the entire revenue cycle from top to bottom.
Now, Section 3, medium priority, focusing on system scale.
Okay, once the immediate high priority fires are put out and cash flow is somewhat stabilized, we move to the medium priority tier. This is where we focus on building a scalable, accurate, and highly efficient system foundation for the long term. These are the 4 medium priority playbook items you'll pitch to a CFO. While the high priority items we just talked about were all about immediate cash, these medium priority improvements ensure system efficiency, data quality, and accounting readiness. Essentially, these are the processes that allow a company to scale from processing 100 invoices a month to 10,000 invoices a month, all without breaking a sweat. The crucial point for this first one is integration, bridging the data flow from the customer relationship management system directly through to the order system and finally into accounting. It completely eliminates silos. When systems don't talk to each other, humans have to manually re-enter data, and we all know manual entry destroys data quality and slows everything down. Integrating this flow drastically improves data quality and workflow efficiency. It's a real game changer.
Next up is standardizing the collection cadence. Instead of an ad hoc approach where a billing clerk just emails whoever they happen to remember to email that day, you need documented escalation steps. Day 30 is a polite reminder. Day 45 is a phone call. Day 60 is a service hold. Standardizing this cadence guarantees consistency, fundamentally changing what a client's AR aging looks like over time. You are literally training the customers to pay on time. For our third medium priority item, we look at the accounting side. Building a dedicated report that reconciles what was billed versus what is actually recognized as revenue is an absolute necessity. Remember, just because you build a customer for a one-year software subscription today doesn't mean you can recognize all that revenue today. This reconciliation report ensures accounting accuracy and is absolutely critical for audit readiness down the line. Finally, let's talk about the human element. If you don't properly train the billing team on the exact protocols for issuing credit notes and sending payment links, you're just inviting high error rates. And here is the real danger: over-collection risk. If a client is accidentally billed twice or a payment link is mishandled, it creates a massive accounting mess and seriously damages the customer relationship. Proper, thorough training is the ultimate process improvement. And that brings us to Section 4, Module Complete, and what's next. You've made it. You are now equipped to not only identify revenue failures, but actively fix them using a prioritized advisory mindset. We started this module learning how revenue is generated, we study the red flags, and now you have the actual playbook to fix them. And this perfectly sets the stage for us to flip over to the other side of the business ledger. We've mastered how money comes into the business. Next, we have to master how money goes out. So, I want to leave you with this final provocative thought. With the revenue cycle mastered, how will you apply these exact same advisory principles to a company's expenses? Think about how data flow, proper approvals, and automation could protect a company's cash when it's going out the door. We'll answer all of that and more when we kick off the Procure to Pay Cycle Foundation in our next explainer. Keep this playbook handy, and I'll see you there.